Baki is one of the most popular martial arts animes out there, and the protagonist, Baki, is one of the most popular martial artists in anime. So, of course, my first thought was to make him fight Goku, stats equalized, of course. Of course, since it's stats equalized, regular strength, speed, and durability scaling is to be ignored here. This fight is based purely on skill, intelligence, and abilities. Let's begin, and as always, we let the guest scale first. Let's start with his skill and his battle IQ, then we'll move on to all the supernatural abilities. Baki can outclass most traditional martial arts masters with little difficulty. He soloed 3 karate black belts at once. Speaking of karate, he kind of just learned it from reading a book. He randomly used Aikido to defeat a Chinese martial arts master. He can counter boxing. While they're not martial artists, Baki was temporarily able to hold his own against 100 men attacking him at once. He can read opponents almost instantly and figure out their fighting style. Here, Baki concludes that a fighter is a judo master simply based on his center of gravity when he was trying to fake a fight stance. He was right. He can very easily mimic the fighting style of an enemy. And lastly, for his skill, he knows nerve strikes. He was able to blind an opponent in one eye instantly by striking his ocular nerve. So he can counter pretty much any earthly martial art, can blind you with one simple strike, and can deduce your entire fighting background based on the center of gravity in your stance. Now to cover his limited hacks. So he actually has an Ultra Instinct type ability, where his body reacts to attacks automatically and dodges for him. He's able to use after images to trick his opponents. Unfortunately, that kind of thing only really works if he speed blitzes the opponent, so that won't be used. And he has an ability where he can straight up imagine things into reality. Here, he literally imagines a whole dinosaur into existence. He also did image training so real that he took damage from the person he envisioned. That's either cosmic schizophrenia, or he has better image training than Goku himself. So, to conclude all that, Baki can combat most, if not all, human martial arts. He's incredibly intelligent and has god-level observance of all of his opponents. He knows insane nerve strikes and has a mini Ultra Instinct. And can imagine dinosaurs into existence. Cool. Now let's look at everyone's favorite 8th dimensional monkey. But before I do that, I'm gonna plug the Discord server. We have 60 plus members in this server, all chatting about scaling daily. There are loads of viewers of mine, content creators in the same niche, and haters who are in that server, so if you want to debate, just talk scaling, or just chill in general, it's the Discord server for you. Now for Goku. To start, Goku can copy abilities almost instantly. To give some examples, the Kamehameha, which took Roshi 50 years to master, the After Image technique, and the 8 Arms technique. A more modern example of this would be Ultra Instinct. Beerus, the god of destruction, was unable to master this completely in tens of millions of years of being the god of destruction, training with Whis, a master of the technique in question. Yet, Goku did it in like 45 minutes. Goku also randomly learned Hakai, something that was never shown being taught to him. And Goku has been performing infinite IQ plays since the very beginning. Goku was able to recognize Tien's weakness being his eyes, and that he completely relied on them to read his opponent's moves, so he blinded him. Goku tricked Piccolo into using all of his ki into one attack, severely weakening him. In his fight with Frieza, Goku recognized that Frieza was unable to sense ki, and used that to his advantage for literally the whole battle. Now, this next feat is the most important one of his. In his fight with Hit, Goku predicted the whole fighting style of Hit to such a degree that he was able to negate Hit's time skip, an ability allowing him to skip into the future in order to hit his opponents in an impossibly fast time period. He even later implies that he can predict things even faster than he is already. Now, this really matters, as Hit is an assassin, the one regarded as the strongest in Universe 7 at the time, and is 1,000 years old. Goku was able to easily overcome 1,000 years of otherworldly martial arts experience and impossible abilities in the span of one short tournament round. Not to mention, he can still use Ultra Instinct when you take away his transformations. He was shown in the more recent Dragon Ball Super manga to be using Ultra Instinct in base form as a technique. So, in conclusion, I think you already know who wins. Baki is severely broken for a martial arts fighter, but Goku is in the class of the gods. This guy overcame 1,000 years of fighting experience in one short tournament round, and honestly, to make this fight fair at all, you'd have to take away Goku's key abilities, as a bloodlusted Goku could just Hakai or fly 30 feet in the air and key spam Baki. Even then, martial arts only, the winner is incredibly obvious. Goku is now 2-0 for this season of Can They Beat Goku? See ya. Next time on Can They Beat Goku? Goku faces off against another anime martial arts prodigy, the self-proclaimed hero hunter, Gaara. This episode comes out on April 22nd, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Also, episode 1 of the SaiyamanSpeaks Power Scaling podcast releases tomorrow.
Thank you for watching this almost perfect video.
Can you drop the ego for 1 second?
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell for future updates. Or else. Ha ha ha!